Well, hello everyone, this is Emrys from cruisehive.com. Yes, finally cruise lines are releasing their restart plans, along with new ship arrivals and the ongoing requirements for a safe return this summer. We've got you covered with a week of breaking cruise news. Well, what a week of cruise news it has been. There is so much happening at the moment as cruise lines detail their restart plans and the CDC quickly starts to approve test and restricted sailings. We've only been away from doing news roundups for just 2 weeks and the situation has changed so much as the US cruise industry finally begins to make a comeback. So in this week's update, we've got more cancellations from Princess Cruises, all the cruise ships that have so far been approved for simulated and restricted sailings by the CDC, the latest on the Florida lawsuit against the CDC on resuming cruises, the new Mardi Gras arriving into Port Canaveral for the first time, and breaking news with Royal Caribbean releasing its restart plan and further cancellations. Oh, so much to go through, so let's get started. With the Canadian Transport Ministry's ongoing interim order that blocks cruise ships until February 28, 2022, Princess Cruises has no choice but to cancel its Canada and New England sailings out of New York for the remainder of the year. The further cancellations impact sailings on the Caribbean Princess, departing on August 28th, September 4th, 11th, 18th and 25th, October 2nd, 9th, 16th, 23rd and 30th, along with November 6th, all in 2021. Guests will have the option to shift their booking to Enchanted Princess in 2022 and protecting the cruise fare. There are also more options, including a future cruise credit and a full refund, which can be requested online. With President Biden recently signing the Alaska Tourism Restoration Act, Princess Cruises will still save what remains of the 2021 Alaska season. The new act enables cruise ships to sail to the region without calling in Canada. Previously, cruise ships would have to visit a foreign port under the Passenger Vessel Services Act. The CDC has been in an approval rampage, with multiple cruise ships now able to operate a simulated sailing or a restricted voyage. Celebrity Edge is the first cruise ship to receive permission to sail with regular passengers from the US starting on June 26th out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Celebrity Equinox will also be able to resume sailings under the restricted format starting on July 4th, also out of Fort Lauderdale. For Royal Caribbean, Freedom of the Seas was the first cruise ship to be approved for a simulated sailing, departing Port Miami on June 20th. The CDC has given more test cruise approvals, including 2 Oasis-class ships out of Port Canaveral. Allure of the Seas will depart on July 27th, and the world's largest cruise ship, Symphony of the Seas, will depart on August the 1st. Another 2 Royal Caribbean cruise ships have received the green light for test sailings, with Independence of the Seas departing on August 13th and Mariner of the Seas on August 11th. Carnival Cruise Line has been approved for simulated sailings, with Carnival Vista out of Galveston, Texas, and Carnival Horizon out of Port Miami, Florida. The cruise line has not yet revealed when those test cruises will take place, but they will be some time before the 2 ships resume operations in July. Disney Dream will sail a test cruise out of Port Canaveral on June 29th, and even the Grand Classica cruise ship, operated by Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line, will sail a simulated voyage out of West Palm Beach on July 2nd. So do keep checking all the latest approvals over on cruisehive.com. There will be more ships being approved in the coming days and weeks. The Florida lawsuit against the CDC to allow cruises to restart has still not been decided. In a new development, the mediation that the judge ordered in May has now collapsed. The CDC and the state of Florida, backed by Alaska and Texas, have not been able to resolve their differences. What a surprise! And it's all about the conditional sailing order by the CDC, which includes requirements for vaccinated and unvaccinated passengers and crew. This is not the end, and maybe by the time we do get a result, the cruise lines might already be sailing. The issue will now head back to the judge, so do keep checking cruisehive.com for any new updates. Friday was a huge day for the cruise industry as Carnival's Mardi Gras cruise ship arrived in Port Canaveral for the very first time. It marks a major step forward for the cruise line in restarting cruise operations. It was the first time the ship arrived in the US, and the day was even bigger when Mardi Gras was joined by Royal Caribbean's new cruise ship, Odyssey of the Seas. So Mardi Gras arrived on Friday morning and was welcomed by more than 1,500 people at Jetty Park, along with many more at the port's new Terminal 3 launch pad facility. An event was also held at the terminal, showcasing just how important the arrival of Carnival's first LNG-powered cruise ship is on the local economy. The ship will now begin preparing for the resumption of cruise operations. More crew members will join the vessel to fill up the crew capacity to 1,750, and they will be trained on all the new procedures, not just for health, but also due to Mardi Gras being a new class of ship. She will eventually sail year-round out of Port Canaveral on week-long Eastern and Western Caribbean cruises. We do have a video on the YouTube channel of the Mardi Gras arriving at the port, an emotional day for Carnival cruise fans, so do go and check it out and let us know in the comments if you watched her and you're excited about the ship sailing from the US. It has been a huge week for Royal Caribbean, with the big comeback announced, including 8 cruise ships to resume sailing from the US this summer. It will all begin with Freedom of the Seas on July 2nd out of Miami, Florida. The ship will sail a special 4th of July weekend sailing, and this follows the ship's simulated sailing that the CDC recently approved for the end of June. Odyssey of the Seas, which arrived in the US for the first time on Friday morning, will begin sailing in July. The new cruise ship will depart on July 3rd out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and offer new 6 and 8 night Caribbean cruises. Alright, so here is the complete list of ships restarting from the US. So, Freedom of the Seas will sail 3 and 4 night Bahamas and Perfect Day at Coco Cay sailings from Miami starting July 2nd. Odyssey of the Seas, 6 and 8 night Southern and Western Caribbean cruises from Fort Lauderdale starting July 3rd. Serenade of the Seas, 7 night Alaska sailings from Seattle starting July 19th. Allure of the Seas, 7 night Eastern and Western Caribbean itineraries from Port Canaveral starting on August 8th. Ovation of the Seas, 7 night Alaska itineraries from Seattle starting August 13th. Symphony of the Seas, 7 night Eastern and Western Caribbean sailings from Miami starting August 14th. Independence of the Seas, 7 night Western Caribbean sailings from Galveston, Texas starting August 15th. And finally, Mariner of the Seas, 3 and 4 night Bahamas and Perfect Day at Coco Cay sailings from Port Canaveral starting August 23rd. There will also be a Royal Caribbean cruise ship restarting operations in Europe. Harmony of the Seas will start Mediterranean itineraries including calls to Palma de Mallorca, Spain, and even a call in France starting on August 15th. We also already know that Adventure of the Seas will soon be sailing out of Nassau, Bahamas from June 12th. Jewel of the Seas will begin cruises from Cyprus in July, and Anthem of the Seas will also start sailing from the UK in July. Wow, so much happening from Royal Caribbean. All Royal Caribbean crew members will be fully vaccinated once cruises begin, with more than half of the fleet already partially or fully vaccinated. It looks like the cruise line is splitting things up for US cruisers, as fully vaccinated and non-vaccinated guests can cruise. However, there will be more strict health measures for those who are not yet fully vaccinated. Even though there are Royal Caribbean cruise ships returning to service this summer, there are others that will remain on hold for even longer. For those vessels, Royal Caribbean has now extended its suspension through August 2021. So here are the ships that will remain on hold for even longer. Brilliance of the Seas, Enchantment of the Seas, Explorer of the Seas, Liberty of the Seas, Grandeur of the Seas, Oasis of the Seas, Radiance of the Seas, Rhapsody of the Seas, Spectrum of the Seas, Vision of the Seas, and Voyager of the Seas. The ships won't begin to resume sailings until September at the earliest, and it will be a gradual return rather than all at the same time. Royal Caribbean is offering a number of options for guests affected by the further cancellations. There is an option for 125% future cruise credit, a lift and shift option where guests can move to a similar sailing the following year, and the option for a full refund. There you go with some of the major cruise news stories from the week. It has been jam-packed recently with plenty of new developments, and we've got everything you need to know over on cruisehive.com, including Royal Caribbean releasing health protocols for Adventure of the Seas cruises out of the Bahamas, MSC Cruises restarting cruises out of Barcelona, Carnival cruise ship completes dry dock in France, and a fascinating story on a full-scale Titanic replica under construction for a theme park in China. Definitely worth a read. We've got many more news updates along with when each cruise line currently plans on resuming operations. Check it all out over on cruisehive.com. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch the video. Do leave a comment down below and let us know what you think on all the latest news updates. Feel free to like and subscribe, and we'll continue to make sure you're updated. I'm Emrys from cruisehive.com. Thanks again everyone, and I'll see you all soon.